You're listening to the Chat City interviews on 103.2 Preston FM.
It's Chat City and just talking to my first guest in the studio. Lovely to welcome him back again. It's Suhayl Laly. And the last time you and I met, you're from Lancashire County Council Volunteer Service. It was actually your first day in the job.
I was relatively new, yeah.
So there, yeah, our first day in a job, and then Emma, who we know well here at Chat City, then puts you on the radio. Yeah. So that must have been your kind of, initiation ceremony.
Yeah.
On the first day in the job. Anyway, it's lovely to see you back in the studio. And as I said, you're from Lancashire County Council for Volunteers. Now, beginning of a new year, 2014, people are, some people will be thinking, well, what am I going to do this year? There'll be people looking maybe to retire. Maybe people who are going to be taking, because these days often you come across lots of people who are thinking about taking redundancy. And then people start to think, well, okay, what shall I do with my life? And one of the opportunities out there, and I'm always amazed when somebody comes in from Lancashire County Council at the kind of range of volunteering opportunities there are, is to come and volunteer. So, Suhayl, tell us some of the opportunities for people that are available if they're considering volunteering.
Well, we have a range of opportunities available. We've got over 24 different services which we're currently working with at the moment. They do vary. We've got a lot of opportunities with adults, a lot of opportunities with children. We've got opportunities where people don't have to kind of mix with different people. We've got opportunities as a countryside, libraries, museums, etc. They do vary quite a bit. Again, we're looking to get more opportunities all the time. So if people were just thinking about volunteering, what they could do is go onto our website, have a look at the different opportunities, but just bear it in mind because, again, our opportunities do change all the time. We'll get different opportunities in the spring, in the summer. Some we're looking for 6 months commitment as a minimum. Some we're looking for a 12 months commitment. Some we've got opportunities which volunteers just could come in for the day and then obviously go back to their working life. So it does differ. We've got a wide range of opportunities available.
And apart from, I was saying there are people maybe who are retiring or maybe taking early retirement or whatever. Yeah. But also, it's also a good opportunity. We're using the word. In fact, at the end of this interview, if the team are listening next door, I'll ask them to tell us how many times I say the word opportunity. But it's also a good opportunity for young people because they can then put it on their CV, can't they?
Which is one of the main reasons why young people do get into volunteering. Apart from obviously doing good for the community, it does enhance their CV because of where things are with getting jobs and so on. And it's never been as tough to get a job in the correct field. Now, what people can do is they can even do 1-2 hours a week volunteering in whichever role it may be. It's a way of enhancing their CV, but also a way of seeing, it's what I tend to say to interested volunteers, it's a way to try before you buy, so to speak. You can see whether this opportunity is appropriate for you or this field of work is appropriate for you. I've had some volunteers who have decided they want to get into one field and then they've done a bit of volunteering with it and thought, well, this isn't for me, and then they've moved on to something totally different. So it's a good way of kind of seeing whether it is right for people, because at the age of between the ages of 16 to early 20s, it's hard to determine what you want to do for the rest of your life. So volunteering does give you a chance to see whether it is appropriate for you or not.
And you mentioned working with young people, working with adults. Now, if you're going to be working with, and if we could just look at the various opportunities there and the kind of work, if you were working with young people, then you'd have to go through what used to be, and I know it's been renamed now, but if you're going to be working with young people under 16, you do have to go through the process of
it used to be a CRB.
That's right, and now
it's a DBS.
DBS.
Yeah. It differs for different opportunities. If you're working with young people as well as vulnerable adults and so on as well, you would have to go through the DBS process. But again, we would provide all the information on that. We'd help the interested volunteers complete the forms and so on. And then obviously they can go through that process. But again, it's what we do ask for is at least 2 references. Some opportunities do require mandatory training as well. But again, with the training, it's something which again looks fantastic on their CV. I would recommend any interested volunteers to go through and do whichever training is there for them, because it's going to help them in the long run, and it's something else to add to your CV, especially if you're looking to get into employment and so on, and volunteering is a way to get into employment. Things like that are a necessity. But yeah, regarding the DBS, a lot of opportunities do require going through the DBS process and so on.
And what kind of opportunities, what kind of work is there working, say, first of all, with young people?
With young people, we've got opportunities within the young people service. So volunteers will be attending youth clubs, etc., on evenings, probably for a couple of hours a week. It depends on whatever they can do and whatever the youth club's times are. We've also got opportunities with the youth offending team. Now, the youth offending team do require volunteers, and this is something which is, again, for the students who are listening, if they are looking into getting into counselling or anything along them lines, or even law, the youth offending team would be a fantastic opportunity to build up your experience and kind of get that on your CV. We've also got opportunities within children's social care and children's centres. This is something which we're looking at. My colleague Emma, who's been on before,
Emma Fletcher-Jones.
Yep, that's the one. And she's currently looking at getting more of them opportunities on. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, by spring, summer, we'll have a lot of the opportunities within children's centres on.
Right. And then with older people, with adults?
With older people, we've got opportunities. The biggest part of our service is befriending, where volunteers would go and just befriend people who have got some suffer from social isolation, some have learning disabilities, mental health issues. It's just going to befriend them for 1-2 hours a week, just to kind of, it's a change of kind of system for it, because at the end of the day, you could get someone who doesn't have any family, nor do they have friends, and it's not nice for them to be at home all the time. Some volunteers go to their house, have a nice coffee with them, a chat and so on. Majority of the clients actually want to hear about the volunteers' life, because they've been at home all week. They don't really have much to say, but it's nice for them to speak to someone else and kind of hear about their life and what's going on with their life and so on. So it's just kind of befriending someone and just being a friend for them. Some volunteers do take the clients out as well. Some take them for a meal, some take them for a coffee and so on. So again, it's nice for them to get out. And again, that's a massive part of our service, and again, it's doing good for the community. We've also got opportunities within homes for older people and day centres. Within that, we have opportunities again with befriending, where you can befriend someone within the home, so you see more of a control setting. We also have opportunities within homes and day centres for activity assistance. So if someone does have a hobby, or they're particularly good at something, for example playing a guitar or anything along them lines, they could go in and just kind of, it's a bit of change of scenery for them as well. So not just the people in the home or the day centre just sat there doing the same thing. At least they've got something different. And again, if it is if they can only go in for an hour a week, at least it's an hour a week that they can do something different. We also have opportunities within the domiciliary service. That's something which I'm currently looking at, and the opportunities will be on in the next few weeks. And again, they do differ. We've got opportunities within the disability day service as well. That's something which the opportunities are on our website now, and again, there'll be more opportunities coming on sooner rather than later.
So it really is a wide spectrum across the board, isn't it?
Again, yeah, we've got opportunities within libraries, museums, the countryside service. So it does vary a lot.
And that was the other one I was going to pick up on, is the kind of countryside service.
Yeah.
Because I was quite surprised to find out that there are volunteering opportunities out there, various
massive
places.
There's a lot. There's opportunities as countryside rangers, which is very popular. We also have information assistants, and again, the closest place to Preston would be Beacon Fell. But again, we cover the whole of Lancashire anyway. But again, information assistants would be there, and for people that are attending Beacon Fell and coming to Beacon Fell, they'd kind of direct them in the right way and so on. So again, there's a wide variety of opportunities, but yeah, countryside is massive and it's very popular.
So who can volunteer?
Anyone. It's some opportunities you have to be 18 and over, and some opportunities you can be 16 and over. Some opportunities we do have people under the age of 16. The only thing is that would be for opportunities such as trading standards and so on. Again, we've put a stop to them, so you wouldn't see them on our website at the moment. But again, once we'll probably have them on the website again in the next few months once the opportunities are filled. But again, it's either 16 and over. Some opportunities are 16 and over. Some opportunities are 18 and over, due to being with vulnerable adults and so on, and sometimes due to being with the youth offending team and so on.
So you're not looking for specific qualifications?
No, we're not. And again, a lot of training is done once they kind of show their interest and so on, and do get into the opportunity.
So if people, they're thinking about it, where's the best place to make contact to find out more?
What the better off? We've actually just changed our website at the moment, so it's a lot easier to use. What they can do is, if they go onto our website, which is www.lancashire.gov.uk/volunteer, if they go onto the website, click on opportunities, and all the opportunities will be on the website. What they can do from there is, if they're interested in an opportunity, they can apply for it by clicking on the sign up button to the right of the screen, and then they can apply for it. Once that happens, I'll get a notification and I'll forward it on to the appropriate team. Now, if they have a query regarding a particular opportunity, or if an opportunity is not on the website that they want to ask about, all they have to do is email into us, and it's LCC Volunteering at lancashire.gov.uk. Again, if they email through to us, again, it'll either be myself or my colleague Emma anyway, that will respond back to them, and we'll be able to advise them regarding their interest. And again, if some of them are looking to get into a particular field, because I attend events all the time at colleges, universities, etc., and I have students who want to volunteer, but they don't know what they want to volunteer in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What they do is they email through and they let me know what they're studying and so on, and then and what field they want to get into, and I can then signpost them to the opportunity which I feel is correct for them. And again, if they feel it is correct, or if they feel there's something different, then by all means I'll let them go for that. It's not a problem. I usually tend to give them a few different opportunities so they can then make their mind up from there. But a lot of different services. I have students who don't really realise what the services do, so it's nice for them to see the different opportunities and different type of fields that they can get into as well.
Yeah, I can understand that. And from meeting people who volunteer, we've talked about, that people could put it onto the CVs. From older people, maybe, and other people who volunteer, what do you think they get out of volunteering?
Feel good factor. It's massive. We have volunteers of all different ages. My colleague Emma, I'm sure she's got a volunteer in the 90s.
Yes.
So it differs so much. And again, it's a feel-good factor. Some people are currently... I've got people who are in 60s plus and they've retired and they want to do something good with their time. And it's really nice for them to go out, do volunteering. Again, there's so many different opportunities available. They can take the pick. And again, some are doing 1 hour a week, some are doing 10 hours a week. It's entirely up to them, whatever they can provide and so on. And again, it's a feel-good factor. It's knowing that you're doing good for the community. And again, we do cover the whole of Lancashire, which is fantastic, so people can kind of...
It is quite a wide area, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is there any specific area of volunteering at the moment where there really is a shortage?
I'd say again, befriending. We've got a long list of clients, so with befriending, we'll be able to find clients according to. And with the clients, what we do is we don't just mix and match. What we do is we match them according to their needs and so on, and their interests. So if a volunteer is interested in something and the client is interested in something, then we'd match them both together. And again, we have volunteer service officers for the different areas of Lancashire, so they would have a VSO that they would be liaising with all the time, and they're only a phone call away. So if they have anything that need to ask or anything else, all they need to do is contact their volunteer service officer, and then they'll be able to help them along the way.
Brilliant. Just give us the contact details again, please.
Yep. The website is www.lancashire.gov.uk/volunteer, and the email address is lccvolunteering@lancashire.gov.uk.
Lovely. Can I thank you for coming in again today?
No problem. Thank you for your time.
And hopefully meet you again in the not too distant future.
Hopefully.
See you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks for listening. We hope you've enjoyed the interviews as much as we have. Why not give us a tweet at ChatCityPFM?